This guy you see here, I mean the athlete, a two-time Mr. Universe winner, was once one of the most popular bodybuilders in the world, known for his incredible size and strength. He left an indelible mark on the sport and inspired countless people to pursue their own fitness goals. However, just a few years later, he would end up behind bars, awaiting execution. Hello, this is a new video from Bodybuilding World, and this is the Bertil Fox story, from bodybuilding legend to prison killer. Let's get started. Bertil Fox, known for his imposing physical presence and 2 Mr. Universe titles, became one of the most celebrated bodybuilders of his time. Born on January 5, 1951, on the Caribbean island of St. Kitts, he emigrated with his family to London as a baby. There he grew up in a humble home in Kilburn, facing the tragedy of losing his father at the age of 14. From a young age, Fox showed an interest in physical training, developing a passion for bodybuilding. He spent hours in the gym, where he met legendary figures such as Arnold Schwarzenegger and Rick Wayne, who influenced his vision of the sport. His training routine was rigorous. He lifted weights 14 times a week, ate up to 10 times a day, and used steroids to stay competitive. By the age of 20, Fox was already a father, but bodybuilding took up much of his time, relegating his family life. Despite working as a train driver on the London Underground, a job he hated, he supported his family financially. However, he was clear that his true calling was bodybuilding, and that success was only a matter of time. In his 20s, Fox dominated bodybuilding competitions in the United Kingdom. At 27, in 1978, he won the prestigious professional Mr. Universe title, establishing himself as a leading figure in the sport. His dense muscle mass and aggressive training style earned him the nickname Brutal Bertil. Although his career was flourishing, his personal life was turbulent. Fox enjoyed the glamour of the sport, including the attention of young women. Before long, he left his girlfriend and 3 children to marry Kim, a woman who significantly influenced his life and career. Kim convinced him to move to the United States, where Joe Weider, co-founder of the International Federation of Bodybuilders, offered him a contract. Despite his initial reservations about American bodybuilding, they eventually made the cut, arriving in Los Angeles in 1981 to begin a new chapter. Between 1981 and 1994, Fox participated in more than a dozen IFBB competitions. His greatest success was in 1983, when he placed 5th at Mr. Olympia. However, this result did not satisfy either Fox or his fans. Disillusioned, he began to publicly criticize the judging system in bodybuilding, arguing that the judges lacked the knowledge necessary to judge fairly. That same year, his relationship with Kim deteriorated due to episodes of physical abuse. Following the breakup with her and an emotional setback, he decided to abandon his contract and not compete at Mr. Olympia in 1984. Throughout his career, he participated in 5 editions of this competition, but never surpassed his performance of 1983. In his last appearance in 1989, he failed to place in the top 10. In 1994, Bertil retired from the stage at the age of 43. It was then that he decided to return to San Cristobal, his birthplace, after decades of absence. What initially seemed like an opportunity to contribute by training young, aspiring bodybuilders would turn out to be one of the most unfortunate decisions of his life. He found a place where he fit in and received the respect he deserved. He bought a plot of land on the outskirts of the capital and began building his dream house and gym, investing all the money he had earned into the project. Although the work was arduous, Bertil still found time to socialize with women. A young local girl caught his eye, Leoka Brown, a swimsuit model. He was 42, and she was 19. Despite the disapproval of Leoka's family, the two began living together. However, the next 2 years marked a decline in the relationship. Rumors circulated about Bertil's physical abuse of Leoka and her infidelity. At one point, Leoka's mother Violet intervened, and this time Leoka decided to follow her mother's advice and leave Bertil. Initially, he seemed to accept the situation in a good way and maintained a friendly relationship with Leoka. On September 27, 1997, Bertil returned from England and 3 days later visited Leoka at her mother's design studio. What happened next is known only to Bertil. At 10 in the morning, the police received an emergency call reporting that 2 people had been shot at the scene. The injuries were fatal. Leoka was shot in the back, and Violet was shot twice, once in the leg and once in the neck. Some media outlets referred to Leoka as Bertil's fiancée or ex-fiancée. Bertil was charged with the murders. During the trial, the case captured the attention of the island, although not everyone focused on the facts. Some were carried away by rumors that discredited Leoka. In his statement, Bertil claimed that upon returning to St. Kitts, he noticed that his gun had disappeared from his home. According to him, he went looking for explanations and went to Violet's workshop, where he found the gun, and she refused to give it back to him. He claimed that during a fight, the gun accidentally went off. The first trial ended with a hung jury. However, on May 22, 1998, Bertil was convicted of the murders of Leoka and Violet in a second trial. He was sentenced to death, the automatic penalty for murder on the island. A year later, the Death Penalty Project began providing free legal assistance to Bertil to appeal the conviction. In March 2002, the Judicial Committee of the Privy Council accepted the appeal and ruled that the death sentence was unconstitutional. In September of that year, the High Court imposed 2 life sentences on him. During the resentencing, the judge considered a medical report detailing how Bertil's long-term use of anabolic steroids since the age of 14 had diminished his responsibility. From jail, Bertil wrote a 24-page letter to Flex magazine's chief photographer, Chris Lund, giving his version of events. He mentioned roid rage and the alleged aggressiveness of bodybuilders, mentioning Rick Wayne, who had claimed in a British documentary that Bertil had no sympathy for white people. In addition, Julissa Wallace, a surprise witness, claimed to have seen Bertil with the gun moments before the shooting, but the judge did not allow Bertil to respond to this accusation. According to the prosecution, Bertil, devastated by the end of his relationship, arrived armed at Leoka's mother's store. Violet, the mother, confronted him, and in the midst of a struggle, the shots were fired. However, Bertil had another version. Bertil says it all started when he noticed his gun was missing. He went to Violet's store to ask about it, and there he met Leoka and her mother. According to him, Violet had the gun in her hand, and during a struggle to get it back, it accidentally went off, wounding first Leoka and then Violet. After the incident, Bertil fled in panic. Despite his statements, the case left key questions unanswered. Why did Leoka take the gun and hand it to her mother? How did the gun go off during the struggle? And why did Bertil not try to help the victims or call emergency services? The Bertil Fox case remains an enigma full of doubts, contradictions, and mysteries. What really happened in that store on that tragic day? The truth, until now, remains hidden. In his letter, Bertil ended by expressing his regret. "I curse the day and the hour when I returned to this corrupt place called St. Kitts." On August 4, 2022, Bertil Fox was pardoned by the Governor General of St. Kitts and Nevis after spending 25 years in prison. Although there were no official reports about the pardon, the news was initially shared by bodybuilder Gary Strum. Today, Bertil Fox, at 73 years old, lives as a free man in the United Kingdom with his family. This tragic incident from Bertil Fox's past ultimately describes how personal tensions can escalate unpredictably at times when we have hit rock bottom. How would you have reacted in a similar situation, where a simple misunderstanding turns into a disaster? If you have been impacted by this story, don't forget to give it a like, subscribe to Bodybuilding World, and leave your thoughts in the comments. We would love to hear from you.